Pax vobiscum, everyone. So I just wanted to do something a little different, so this will be a shorter video, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about some channel updates and just a couple of things with that. Updates not necessarily being the channel itself, but I do have something exciting to share with you all. I have a poetry contest that is currently ongoing. Nothing crazy. It's kind of a test, if you will, to see what the appetite for it is, and just sort of a trial run for future contests to make them even better. So here we have the images of the poetry prompt contest. I also have this contest available on my Instagram and via the YouTube community tab here as well. So you can place your poems, your entries there, or you can email them or DM them to me directly via Instagram, or post them to the community. Wow, I cannot talk today. The community post here on YouTube. So however you'd like to get the poem to me, just let me know that it is for the May Poetry Prompt Contest, and we shall be good to go. So basically, I took some inspiration from some of the other mini poetry contests that I've seen on Instagram, YouTube, and other such platforms, and that inspired me to create my own. And that's something I would like to do with this channel, is to promote creativity. And I think a really great way to do that is to host contests or prompts and other such things. And what I'd like to do in the future with these is not only do poetry prompt contests, but just poetry contests in general, story prompt contests. And what I'd like to do with these is entries, the winning entries get turned into media. That is, either I read the story and it has an associated video, or a reel with it, to get your words out there, basically, to give you a platform, to have your words shared with the world, essentially. And it provides me with content, but it's also super fun to see what everyone is able to come up with just a short prompt or so. So for my poetry prompt contest, so I have some chosen prompt words, which we will look at in a moment, but it's compose a poem based on the chosen prompt words, and that poem can be any length that you want. It could be, less than 10 words, or it could be a full sonnet. It's completely up to you. And then, as I said before, submitting the poem, either commenting on this post, that being Instagram or DM, or via the community, YouTube community post. And poems must be your original work, so do not copy other artists. That is, copying like a traditional poem. A structure is fine because, you're writing in a sort of style, but try not to take words from people. And so the due date for this contest will be on May 31st. I found it's easier, it sounds strange, but to use, I guess, military or the 24-hour time for such things, known as Zulu time for such contests. I found that makes it easier. So at 000 Zulu on May 31st, rolling into June 1st, that will be when the last entry can be submitted by. So right now, as I'm working on merchandise and expanding, the abilities of my channel, this is what we have for prizes so far. So for a first place prize, the poem will be featured on Instagram and Ko-Fi, so posted there for everyone to see. And then I will turn your poem into a reel. If you go onto my Instagram and you look at some of my very early work where I did dynamic readings of poems with a video and music in the background, that is what I'm referring to. And then that reel would be featured on Instagram and YouTube, and you would also receive a shout out on Instagram, YouTube, and Ko-Fi. Second place, your poem will be featured on Instagram and Ko-Fi, and then also turned into a reel and featured just on Instagram. And then on third place, your poem would be featured on Instagram and Ko-Fi, so no reel, but just posted there with a shout out as well. And now getting right to it, here is the Poetry Prompt Contest prompts. So the 4 words that I have chosen are sun, freedom, strength, and fire. So, per Vesta being traditionally, and not necessarily correctly, being known as the goddess of fire for the Romans, this for me, full disclosure, I am a Leo, and but I wanted to have something that was sort of summery as we're coming out of spring and moving into summer. And for me, so sun, freedom, strength, and fire, that feels summery to me for some reason, but also stays in trend with what we're doing with the channel, kind of the theme. So what I sort of said there in the notes is that the poem does not necessarily have to have all 4 words in it. So your poem doesn't need to have the word sun, the word freedom, the word strength, the word fire. One thing I wanted to do was to let you have full creativity. And so in sort of doing that, the intent is to provide a general prompt and see how your creativity takes flight. So your poem could have, sunlight, or talking about, alluding to strength, or alluding to fire, or the strength of fire, stuff like that. Again, I wanted to make this fully open to everybody. And one of the things that I'm looking at for a winning poem, I guess you could say, is composition and I guess grammar. So the poem is well put together in the sense of, there are not misspellings, typos, strange stretched words, things like that. And then for me, I'm kind of looking at what these prompts are: sun, freedom, strength, and fire, and sort of what they mean to me, and then seeing if the poem seems to fit either has those words, or it fits the spirit of those words, if that makes sense. So once I select a number of poems, or have a number of poems, I will read over them and then choose the winning poems based off of that sort of criteria. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the poetry prompt contest. It's available on my Instagram. It's also been posted on the YouTube community, as I've mentioned before. But do please share this with your friends or anyone who you think would be interested. I'd like to see a good turnout for the poems, and I think it would be sort of fun, sort of a fun activity. And it's nice because it can be any length at all. It can be essentially about anything that you want that falls within even just the spirit of these 4 words. So please, again, I ask that if you don't mind, share this with friends, family, whoever you think would be interested in joining. And so for sort of the next update, I'm very excited, too excited to share with you the very first sticker concepts for this channel. So one of the things I'd like to do with this channel, one of the themes is I'd like to foster discussion about literature and stories and writing and poetry and film and music and all sorts of things. I feel like this is sort of lacking nowadays, especially in a time of instant gratification of knowledge. I feel like it's sometimes difficult for people to be able to sit and think and mull and to know exactly what truth is. So that sort of inspired Truth is a Jewel, this sticker. The idea that the truth, what is factual, at least to our understanding as it is now, is a beautiful thing. And there is beauty in knowing that something is ultimately, truly true. And this is also based off of some ancient Greek philosophy that I will go into a little bit more when I do a sticker release video showing the 3 other sticker designs that are currently in the works. Still working on those, but I was just so excited when this one turned out that I just had to share it early. I was going to do all 4 at a time, but sometimes it doesn't work out like that. So here's the first concept of Truth is a Jewel. I haven't quite decided yet which one to choose. As you can see here, we've got this regular one with just the jewel and the scroll. And then I also have a second concept design that has sort of a ring of flowers, of fire flowers, if you will, around the jewel. I like both of them, but I can't quite decide. I might do something like a poll for all of the sticker designs, because each one is similar to this. Each one has 2 different concepts. So I will probably put something out on the YouTube community page to have you all vote on what your favorite designs are, and then those will become stickers. And so that's pretty much it for now. I figured when I reach sort of milestones or have a lot to say to where it's a little more difficult to do it in multiple posts, I would go ahead and do these mini videos to share with all of you progress of the channel, ideas that I had, stuff like that. So I do hope you enjoyed, and I hope you are excited for the future sticker designs. Those should be coming out within the next couple of weeks. Still trying to get them to look right. Truth of the Jewel turned out... I cannot talk today. Goodness gracious. I need more coffee. Truth is a Jewel. That design came out looking pretty well along the lines of what I had in my head. So we'll see how this all turns out. And I'm very excited about the poetry contest. I've had 2 entries so far, so here's hoping we have some more. Again, do please share with friends, family, anyone who you think would be interested in joining. I'd love to see a good turnout. Let's see, and that's pretty much all I can think of for now. The last Black Beauty episode will be posted within the next couple of days. There was a processing issue with the video. It was going to be up yesterday, but there was a processing issue. I'm not sure what it was, but it kept randomly stopping in the middle of processing and wouldn't continue. So I think I need more space on my external hard drive that I'm using to run all of this. So I'm going to get a new one and then see if that works. So with that being said, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and Pax vobiscum, everyone. Goodbye.